and 6.6. If you have any questions, you can post them. You could either ask them on my YouTube channel, which I sent everyone the link to, or probably easier, just send me an email and I will either reply on Google Classroom if it's a simple worked out solution, or if I think it requires a video, I'll add a video here. So I just want to show you guys a couple things. So here's your homework, obviously. If you go to your dashboard, I'm going to show some of you, this is the first time you probably ever noticed this, but right over here on the left you see ebook under featured components. Right here on the left, I'm going to click on ebook. And you guys will only see two, both of these red ones. I can see all of them, but you will only see two. We choose this one for English, and it opens up. So when I say that you're going to need to teach yourself, this is extremely important that you know how to access this. So really quickly, we're on 6.3. I don't particularly like this two-page view, so if I click on settings, I can go over to one-page view. If you're on a tablet, definitely use the plus and minus to zoom in, or it gets kind of weird. Looks like it gets kind of weird anyways. The table of contents is up here. Let me zoom out here. Looks like we've already made it angry. Yeah, okay, so we've got the, zoom in here. So we've already got the table of contents, or the table of contents are up here on your left. That would normally look normal. So if you want to go directly to a section, you can, again, this has got the zoom thing weird. You can scroll to, yeah, you have to be careful on a tablet. It's much better on the Chromebook. Anyway, click on the percents, and as you can see, we can go straight to 6.3, 6.4, 6.5, 6.6, whichever one you're working on. So this is where you're going to get your information. It also kind of tells you, if you look at, so we're working on 6.3, the percent equation. So if you wanted to look on Khan Academy for other videos or online, these kind of help you figure out what to search for. Okay, so that's enough about your book. Let's open up my notes here. Here we go. Okay, so basically, this is just a different way of doing what we've been doing. So in the last two sections, we talked about is over of equals percent over 100, or this was part over whole is equal to the number percent, so 20% for instance would be 20 over 100, right? And they abbreviated this as part being A, whole being W, and P being P or P percent, P over 100. So these three things, these three equations are all saying the exact same thing. This is kind of our cheating way. This is actually what a percent is. A percent is the part over the whole, but this proportion means that the part is always over 100. So this is always there. It's always over 100, okay? And then this last one is simply telling you that A over W is the way we write part over whole. Why don't we write P over W? Because we needed the P for the percent. So A became the part. So just think about how many markers I've made. The total throws I've made was like 86, and I've made like, 70 of those? That's my joke. It's not as funny when you can't see my face. Okay, so no more jokes. Anyway, at least not for today. All right, so let's look at these examples I've got. So all we're doing here is we're learning how to use this percent equation. Okay, so all this is doing is it's looking at it in a different way. We want you to look at things in different ways. So the way that it, so we're going to write it down here. So the percent equation is A, or the part, is equal to the percent over 100. So when it says P percent, it literally means like 20% would be 20 over 100 on this part. Or 20 divided by 100, which you learned is you just change that to a decimal, right? So when I divide by 100, I'm moving it to the left 2 places because there's 2 zeros in 100. So I have 20 here, and now I'm going to divide, because that's what this means, divide by 100 and move it 2 places. So another way to write that would be just 0.20, which is what I recommend because it gets really confusing if you're writing, 20 over 100 for your P percent. So let's just call this P percent times whatever the whole is. Okay, and now it's really simple. We're just going to remember that. We're just going to remember this equation right here, and we're going to apply it. So no matter which one of these three that we have here, let's start with example 1. What is 24% of 50? So 24%, so we're trying to find the part. So this is pretty simple because we're already solving for A, the part. So let's change colors. So we're going to just line these up. So part, we don't know. Therefore, it's the variable. P percent, which is 24%. So again, the book would have you put 24 over 100 here. But I'm going to save you a step, and we're just going to turn this into a decimal always because it's easier. So 0.24 times 50, okay? And now we can get out our calculator, which I can't remember if I added it. I don't think I did because you guys have your own calculators. Feel free to use them. I feel like I lost my calculator here. So I'm going to use my phone here on the side. You guys will just have to trust me. So 0.24 times 50 is 12. So A equals 12. Okay? Alright, simple enough, right? Alright, finding a percent. So basically it's all about what is my variable. So the variable here, finding a percent. So what is the percent? So what's going to be the variable? The percent, right? So let's see. A equals P, let's just call it P times W, okay? So A, they give us, is 9.5. 9.5 is what percent of 25, right? So 9.5 is my part, because 9.5 is part of the total 25. Is what percent P of 25? So P times 25. So we know we can rewrite that as 9.5 is equal to 25p, and then we just solve this equation. We solve this equation by getting p by itself, divide by 25 on both sides. It is nice having a calculator on these. So 9.5 divided by 25 equals 0.38. So here we go again. Is 0.38 the percent? No. 0.38 is the decimal. So in order to go from a decimal to a percent, instead of going left, we're going to go to the right because we're going to multiply it by 100. So 0.38 times 100, 2 zeros in 100, so we're going to move it to the right 2 places. 1, 2, and my new decimal is there, so the answer is 38%. So P percent equals 38%. Good? Alright, lastly we're going to find the whole. So we're looking at this one here. So finding the whole 39 is, let's start with our equation. Part equals percent times the whole. 39 is, that's another key because remember is the part. So 39 is my part, 52%, 0.52, we're just changing that to the decimal. Of what? Well, that means we don't know it, so our variable here is w. Divide both sides by 0.52 to get w by itself. And w equals 39 divided by 0.52 is 75. So the whole here is 75. Does that make sense? 39 is half, roughly half of 75. That makes sense to me. So we're just looking at, so make sure your numbers make sense. If I would have accidentally fat fingered a key and got 750, that wouldn't have made any sense. So double check it. Your story problems are just going to basically be giving you 2 out of the 3 of these. So let's get the laser out here. So we're just going to look at, so all your story problems are going to give you 1, 2, 3. You have 3 variables right here. The story problems are going to give you a part, and they're going to give you a percent, and they're not going to tell you the whole. Or they're going to give you the whole, and they're going to give you the percent, and they're not going to tell you the part. So in this section, it's going to be all about figure out what the story problem is giving you and what it's not, and then solve for what it's not. If you have any questions, again, email them to me, and I'll get them posted. Have a good day.